Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's Butterfly?
What's up, Firefly?
Should have to be. We're doing another episode.
I know. Well, I mean,
You know what today's episode's kind of like?
what?
Do you know what? Do you know what anthropology is?
Yeah.
Anthropology.
Yes.
So anthropologists will like go to Africa and go like into the woods and like study some like ancient tribe.
Right.
And they'll be like, what's sacred to them? And like look at their behavior and how do they gather food and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you kind of had an experience like that, like right here.
Yeah. When I went to the ghetto, I mean the mall
That's right.
yesterday. Um, oh my gosh, it's just flooded with walkers. Basically, just nothing but walkers at this place. I mean, we're kind of surrounded by a lot of walkers
You know what's
where
interesting?
we are
The
anyway.
mall deems to walkers, if you
I
think
know,
about it.
I know.
Why? Because the
Yeah.
mall is kind of immoral, bottomless pit.
Mm-hmm.
Come hang out here. It's perfect. I even think they pump oxygen into the mall, kind of like a casino. Have you ever noticed?
Oh, they totally do. In fact, that bigger mall that's like maybe less than half an hour from us
Yeah, yeah,
that we like to go to. Um, have you ever noticed when you walk into that one? Like that's a nicer mall.
yeah.
Ours is kind of ghetto. Um, that one has that like stuff pumping through the air. You can smell it like the
Yeah.
places in Vegas
You
when
know
you
what
walk
they
into
do?
those
They pump
hotels
oxygen in because
with
what they
that are
want.
scented.
Because if you get euphoria,
Mhm.
it's kind of dopamine.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they do with social media.
And you're
Like,
like,
someone liked your content.
it's nice. I want to buy stuff.
I'm gonna buy stuff. I'm in a good mood. Wow, I'm gonna spend a lot of money for that, but I don't really have
I'm I'm gonna go buy a $7 boba tea
boba tea.
and
Oh,
a
you know what? Oh my
$13
God.
frozen yogurt.
So that mall that you're talking about, the
Yeah,
real nice one,
yeah.
I was in there with my daughter and I was like, oh, Mrs. Fields cookies. Remember them?
Yeah.
Mrs. Fields cookies back in like the 80s and the 90s was the
It
ball.
was like a new thing.
It was awesome. I went in there and I got some crusty little like chocolate chip cookie brownie.
Uh-huh.
And the cookie brownie was like $5.
My
And
gosh.
I literally put the whole thing in my mouth.
Oh my God.
It
Was a $5 bite.
was a $5. So I was like, dude, no more Mrs. Fields. Because it used to be so good.
I
That used to be my
know.
favorite.
I know, it was so good.
And then do you remember also they had the ice cream that they would dip into? Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yeah.
Was that C's? I thought it was C's.
No, that's candy.
But I think
Ca-
C's
C
also had the ice
C's
cream.
is still good. C's still has good
C's is
candy.
good. C's
Yeah,
is
they've
good.
kind of stayed classic. They
There's
probably
some
have
there's
walkers
some
working
stuff in the
there.
mall, and there's some stuff in the mall that I still will, even though I know it's expensive and bad for me, like the pretzels with the cheese sauce.
Oh yeah.
That is like crack.
I haven't tried the cheese sauce, but
Oh
have you
yeah.
tried the ones with the cinnamon sugar? Those are pretty good.
The Wetzel's pretzels?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are
those
good.
are good.
Those are good. And hot dog on a stick, I've always been a fan of too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was at our ghetto mall the other day
It is
and
so ghetto.
it's so gross. And the first thing I noticed was just walkers everywhere and
Everybody dressed like a slob,
they're super slobby.
kind of overweight,
Yeah,
no self-respect,
no, covered in
covered
tattoos.
in tattoos.
And I know we keep bringing up the tattoo thing, and we probably have some listeners who have tattoos, and maybe they're getting offended. And I hope they're not because that's not our intention. But
It's an
it's
observation.
an observation. We've all kind of gone down roads before that we didn't know about, but our observation has been that, and we're going to get to this a little bit more later in this episode.
Yeah.
Um, of like following, and how certain things are followers traits
Tattoos is that.
and that's what we've noticed. But anyway, so I noticed
You know,
all
it's like this. Tattoos are like this. You know what? I saw it's as seen on TV.
yeah,
I saw that on TV.
yeah,
I saw that guy who I think is cool in that Netflix show. He's got tattoos.
y-
I'm gonna get tattoos. And then also, oh, that guy who I saw with that hot chick, he's got tattoos. I'm gonna get tattoos. That's what it is.
yeah,
And it's like, unless you're doing it from some organic like inspiration, like I really want to get this on my arm. maybe there might be some element of that for some people,
I
but I
think
don't think
there's
that's it.
I think there might be some of that, but I think a lot of it then turns into like a sort of an addiction that it's like
It's bod mod.
you got yeah, bod mod and you got to be like a lot of people just want to be weirder than the next person, more extreme.
Yeah,
It's like they think it's a rebellious thing, but actually what I had like an epiphany in
yeah,
the middle of the night.
yeah.
I guess should we just go into this right now? We can go
By all
get back
means,
to the mall.
by all means. Epiphany,
Okay,
epiphany,
okay.
epiphany.
So I woke up in the middle of the night and I was thinking how remember when we had that episode about liberal hippies
Yes.
and I said it's so weird how like those were the people in the 60s were the ones who were like rebelling against the man and
Yeah.
everything
It
and
seemed like they were anti-tyranny.
anti-tyranny and all that and then like what's his name was
Neil Young.
yeah, sang that song,
Keep
like
on rocking the
the free
free
world.
world.
But then when the cooties fiasco broke out, like those were the first people to like fall in
What did
line.
Neil Young say?
And he was like, "Go get your pokey pokes."
No, 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 no. He got me mad. He goes, don't be talking about ivermectin.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my content off of Spotify.
yeah.
It's
He
like,
was totally against like people who were like
is that rocking in the free world?
not at all. So we talked about that in that episode, and I think you made a really good point, which was that um all of those things that were happening like in the 60s
Yeah,
to like kind of seem like oh we're rocking in the free world we're free love and this and that and we're rebelling against
yeah.
stuff was actually all the beginning of part of the plan of basically of Satan corralling people and guiding people into a
And
certain
some
direction.
people have a hard time accepting
I
that because once you start saying Satan, it sounds like you're saying Beauty and the Beast or like
Yeah,
Bugs Bunny.
whatever,
No, but see, I
it's
believe it is Satan. And what is Satan? Satan's eternal. So he's not impacted by time and he has a plan and he is trying to use people to carry out his plan. So back in the 60s, it was a different plan.
yeah,
Back in the 60s, it was destroy 1950s America. Because
yes,
now what I'm seeing is those people from 1948, from
yeah,
that country from 1948, when
yeah,
they took over in 1963,
yeah,
they were really, 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 really mad about 1950s America
yeah.
and even early 1960s.
Right.
Because what was it like?
It was like nice and people were clean cut, making,
Wearing
having
suits.
suits. Everybody, like people would dress up to go on an airplane, like,
Yeah. And how
you,
about the neighborhoods were clean? The
yeah,
schools were the best in the world.
yeah,
And you could have a hardware store on the corner and you could put your kids through college
yeah,
and your wife could stay home and just use all of these wonderful new appliances that came out in
yeah,
the
right.
1950s,
Yeah,
and that wasn't like some like oppressive patriarchy either.
yeah,
Like if you look at 1950s housewives, a lot of them were really happy because their kids, they got to spend their time with their kids, their
yes.
husband went to work, and there was families that stayed together. My grandparents were married for like 70 years.
Yeah. And people had dinner together every night
Every night.
and kids could go ride their bikes down the street and it was safe. So
So Satan came in
I
and he
think,
said, "No, we got to get rid of that." And so what
yeah,
did he use? Back then, it was let's tear down this structure that's in power now
right,
because that was fostering 1950s America.
right.
But now they've already done that. So
Right.
they've deconstructed 1950s America. So the new Satan's new messaging for the people is get in your 15-minute cities
Right.
now.
Yeah. So my epiphany in the middle of the night was that, I was thinking about that point you made about how it was part of the plan back then to destroy that kind of, 1950s America, the family unit. I think that was the
Yeah.
beginning of destroying the family unit. And it started then with like this whole, like, the kind of hippies and free love that the
The
debauchery.
ethos of the 60s revolution was family destroying. It
Yeah.
really was.
And it was the beginning of debauchery, which just continued to get worse and worse, like into the 80s. And now look at, how we are now. And so what I was thinking is like, how people who like go and get all these piercings and tattoos and stuff are like seen as like the rebels. I don't think they're the rebels. I think
No,
they're the followers.
that's right.
Yeah. they're following
You know what
the
the rebel
plan
is
that
like
has been
today?
put in place. We are the rebels.
We're the
You know
rebels
what I mean? Like
to have
to
morality.
go against what they're pushing in the media and everything, the debauchery and stuff. People who like don't want that
Yeah.
are trying to have a different lifestyle are actually the rebels. So that was sort of my epiphany,
That is the
you know?
epiphany. And because the media is what we rebel against. I
Hmm.
think that's really been kind of the common denominator in all of our episodes.
Yeah.
We rebel against the media.
And you know, we don't all like start from the same place. Like, you know, like some of us take longer to realize these things than others. Like you seemed to know this stuff when you were like 13. I kind of started figuring this stuff out just recently.
It has to become unacceptable to you. I think
Right.
that's it. What
Yeah.
happened with you, that's the reason I am so excited about our podcast and our friendship because you very organically said, no, it's unacceptable. The cult is unacceptable to me, or the culture club.
The culture
The
club.
culture club.
We have to call them that.
The culture club, they are unacceptable to me
Yeah.
because whether or not, see, I'm a Christian, so I say they're ruled by Satan, but you
Mhm.
might not even be that, and you don't have to be that. You can say, I don't like injustice.
Mhm.
And that's what the culture club is.
And the culture club is what we refer to as the people who are ruling the world, the elites.
Larry
They're
Fink,
part of the
he's the
culture
CEO of
of the world.
BlackRock, and he's the CEO of Earth.
Yeah.
And if you get out of line, you got to go meet with the CEO, and he mails you a coffin.
Yeah. But they want everybody to be living a life of debauchery and like going down these dark holes, you know, and dark
Look at the
paths.
difference by the 80s,
Yeah.
like when we grew up. Like it was already like, we are the youth gone wild, you know?
Right.
Remember, it was like the whole ethos of MTV was party
Yeah.
and debauchery,
Yeah.
and that was
And
funny and cool.
that's what they push. And I don't want to like dwell on the tattoo thing because like I know a lot of people love their tattoos and
No, but it pertains.
I have a lot of friends who have them, but it's interesting because I brought this point up when we were talking about that show Sirens, how these super, super rich people who are
Yes.
like, you know, part of the elite group. There was a scene where the girl who was trying to be in that realm said she had her tattoos removed because it wasn't acceptable. And so, but it's true, like you don't see like the presidents or the, you know, those people, they don't have
No.
tattoos. You know what I mean?
And that's the
Like
slippery slope that
it's
we've
a
talked about.
slippery slope.
Going and get a tattoo is a permanent bod mod. And yeah, it might be cool right now, but
It's a trend.
it's a trend. And you're doing a permanent bod mod
And
for a
you made a point
temporary
that
trend.
it's a way for them to spot you, you
Well,
know?
what if, and I'm just a bad person, what if eventually they decide, because right now, the Culture Club has a pretty good grip on reality.
Hmm.
They're micromanaging everything.
Yeah.
What if they decide, you know what, let's just go ahead and round up all the people with tattoos and put them in FEMA camps because they're clearly the weak.
Hmm.
They're the followers. They're the easily
It
duped.
always makes me think about that Dr. Seuss book that was
I
so
know that
cute.
you brought that up.
The ones that had stars on theirs, you know,
Yes. And what happened?
and then the other ones were like jealous and they all wanted stars on
Yeah,
theirs. So they all went and got their stars put on their
that's
bellies.
right.
But then it wasn't cool anymore because they all had them.
Mhm.
So that then the other ones got their stars removed because it wasn't cool.
See?
Yeah.
But now you can't get your tattoo removed.
Not
Well,
completely.
I mean,
It
you
kind
could
of
get
leaves
it
a
like,
scar.
I mean, some guy
Then you have
Botoxes it off
then
you.
you have a scar on there.
Scar tissue that you wish you
You have
saw.
a scar on there.
Yeah, that's weird. And then you have like bod mod. And then, we talked about those dudes who get those huge hoops in their ears.
Those holes, I don't understand that. Does that help you hear better?
No.
What's
It
the
helps
reason
you to
for
get
that?
it
It's
helps you to get
painful.
1990s chicks who don't shave their legs.
Ew.
But that's 30 years
What
gone.
about the girls who do it? It's
I don't
super
understand that.
weird. Like it's not pretty. Like you're not wearing pretty earrings.
How many times have you seen like
Why would you want to
pretty
make your
girls?
ears bigger?
I saw a pretty girl. She had all these tattoos on her chest, and she was
Oh
like
God.
pretty, but the
Hmm.
chest thing was like it was busy.
Hmm.
It was like your body's busy.
It's like it clashes with whatever you're wearing. You
Plus,
know?
I don't want to read you.
Yeah.
Like literally, I might get a read on you, but I don't want to read you.
Yeah,
I hate that.
totally.
I don't want messaging coming off of your body that's like just like, by the way, it's like graffiti.
Yeah.
Almost some
Yeah.
people, it almost looks like graffiti on them.
Yeah, it does. It's too much.
And so get back to the ghetto fabulous mall.
Yeah,
And then the other thing they do is they walk around with their clothes hanging off.
yeah,
Think about the compare and contrast. Going to they didn't even really have malls back in the 50s, but they would have a marketplace. Like you would go to the
yeah.
grocery store or you would go downtown. Think about everyone dressed to the nines.
Right.
Like if you were just the housewife going downtown to go to the grocery
You would
store,
dress nice.
you would have like nice shoes on, a
Hmm.
dress,
Yeah.
and your butt would not be hanging out. Your
No,
boobs would not be hanging out.
no,
Even if you're hot, you didn't do that.
totally. Like I see like at the mall, these girls are wearing like pajama pants and slippers. And I'm like, what? It's super
And
weird,
so
you know?
my daughter's 18, and that is totally the look.
It's so
It's
weird.
you know what it is? It's basically my life is just sitting in front of my computer
Yeah,
and I dress accordingly.
yeah. So I always thought that, you should dress to what you aspire. You know what I mean?
Well, you said a
And
good point one time, and I agree with this. You behave differently when you're dressed
you
nice.
do. You totally do.
You
If you're
do.
wearing pajamas and slippers, you're not going to act the same way as when you're like wearing nice clothes and nice
If you
shoes,
put on a suit, you're more inclined to be moral and you're more inclined to watch your mouth
Uh-huh.
and you're more inclined to maybe even make more intelligent decisions. You're more
Yeah.
inclined to conduct yourself in a way that's considerate of others.
Well, that's funny you make that point about the decisions. So when I see somebody that looks like so like messy like that, and they've got just all these random tattoos, like they have people like this working at doctors' offices now. I'm thinking those were not good decisions. And so it makes me wonder what kind of decisions are they making when they're like cleaning the utensils
Dude,
or taking my
if
blood.
there's
You know
some
what I
dude with
mean?
a tat and
Taking my
he's
blood.
like, I had some dude with a tat that was cleaning my teeth, and I was just kind of like, I was like, God be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want dudes digging around in my body. Well, first of all, I have an aversion to the healthcare system, which we've talked about at length,
Yeah.
like on our pharmaceutical episode that's coming up.
Yeah.
That one.
That's a
But,
good one.
we have our aversion to the healthcare system, which is warranted. But also, any type of important work, I really don't get a good feeling. I don't get the warm and fuzzies from tattooed people.
Yeah. Well, it's like you wonder if they're going to do that, make all these permanent decisions about like that are random on their own body.
You know
What
what tattooed
what are they
people are
going to do
like?
to you?
The tattooed people are like this, and they don't even have to have tattoos, but this is a common trope in California, especially. Like we talked about how California has a special kind of mind virus than like South Carolina,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But here in California, people think they're cool. And then once so that's their focus. They want to round out their image and make sure that people understand that they're cool. They don't understand that, but you're stupid, dude,
Yeah.
and you're immoral and you're dangerous.
It's a bottomless pit
You're
kind
a
of thing.
bottomless pit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, see, that's what happened to me a long time ago is, I do want to be a moral person, but I think I was responding to them saying, I don't want to be like you. Because people get so content with just, I'm meeting the media criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, dude, don't you ask more of your life?
Right.
Like I'm walking around with my girl and I got tattoos, and it's like, okay, but there's more to life than that. What you're doing is just basically rounding out the accoutrements of your image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like people are there.
Yeah.
Like some of those dudes, like they're like when you see them walking around, you probably were like, oh, why?
Yeah.
But then there were some girls like, oh my God, he's tatted.
Hmm.
Look at his pants are hanging off his ass.
That reminds me of that scene in Clueless where she's like,
All the
"Did you
dudes.
take time out of your pants dropping schedule?" They've all got their pants like blown.
Oh my God. I was so in love with
So-
Alicia. I was so in love with her. She
She's
was,
so cute.
and then the thing is I was like, oh my God, I kind of resemble that remark. Because I used to have my pants kind of hanging down.
You
'Cause I totally did. I was there. I was like, oh, this is great because I used to like having like loose pants with all my stuff in my pockets and
But
stuff.
did you have them like below your butt? I don't understand
No,
that. Like that doesn't
no.
even look
I
comfortable.
was always like
I see
walking a
these
lot. You can't walk
I
in.
see these guys like they're pulling them up as they're walking. Like they have to like hold on to the waistband while they're
So
walking.
what's the point?
What's the
That's
point?
not
I
pants.
know. I'm like,
Then like,
but see, so you kind of did that. So we all like did things, and now we're waking up and realizing like maybe certain things are not as smart as we thought they might have been when we were younger. But um
tell me
any
what happened. So you're
okay, so
all
I'm at the mall, and
and you're seeing
I
walkers.
saw Walker. I mean, so many things happened at the mall,
So
but
many
one of
walkers.
the big things is it goes all back to Sephora again. We've
Ooh.
talked about Sephora
Did
so
you
many times.
exceed your
I,
samples
I don't know why I
again?
keep shopping at this place. I need to stop.
Well, tell everybody what happened last season at Sephora.
Well, they have like this thing where you can get like a sample of something to take it home and try it
Yeah,
in like this little cup that they give you.
yeah.
But you're only allowed three.
You only get
You
three.
only get three. And if you ask for more than three, the answer is no.
No.
You'll have to come back
Come
tomorrow.
back tomorrow.
So it's like, now I can understand, like, going in there and like asking for like eight samples of the same lotion or whatever.
People take advantage
Like, it's
of it.
like you're taking like half the
But
bottle.
even that
But
Sephora, there's a Sephora like every 5 miles across the country. I don't think they're really getting a dip in their bottom line.
no, but if you're asking for like, four or five or whatever, samples of like five different things that you're trying to compare to. It's not exactly like
But you know what it did?
you're draining
You're
their
draining.
stuff.
Oh, we're taking a
You're
hit.
obviously trying to go home and like try these things
Why
out
are
to
you
see.
taking advantage of us like that?
Right. So,
No, but you know what there also is there? There's the 5 minutes of power,
mhm.
megalomaniac, psychopath,
So
micromanagers.
that's what I've experienced. They're total micromaniac
They're okay. So
psychopath
you gotta be
micromanagers.
careful. It's micro
Micromanaging
mini
mini
megalomaniac
megalomaniac
psychopath
psychopath micromanagers.
micromanagers. That's what they are.
That's what they are.
Okay.
They love to tell you that you can't have more than three samples, and they get very snotty about it. So we talked about that in depth in one of the episodes. But anyway, I had bought this item a couple months ago, and I was gone for like over a month, and I went.
I know.
I
I
went
was so sad.
I know. And we took our little break, but I went to return it. So it was blush. And when I got
How
home,
dare you?
I know, when I got home and tried it, it was like super like it was like clown red paint on my face. It was so bright. I was like this is horrible. So anyway, I didn't have time to take it back, so I took it back yesterday, and the lady's like starting to go through the process, and she goes, "Oh, we can't do this because it's been more than 30 days." And I said, "Oh, I'm like, well, can I just get a store credit? I just want to exchange it, And she goes, "Oh no, the system won't allow us to.
The system.
The system won't allow that because it's been more than 30 days." And and I was really super nice too. I wasn't snotty at all. I said, "Well, I said, I just really just want to get the same thing in a different color." She's like, "No, we can't do that." I said, "Well, you're still selling this product, right?
Yeah.
This color?" She goes, "Oh yeah, we're still selling it."
We should
And she walks me over to where the stuff was,
here buy another one.
still at the same price,
Yeah.
And and because she did that, and then she walked away, I looked at the display that they had, and I looked at it, and I'm like, I know I wasn't crazy, and so I got the one out of the bag that I had bought, and I opened it up, and I set it right next to the one that they had on display,
Yeah.
and it was a completely different color. And I'm like, I knew it because I said I tried this on in the store. And so there was a girl standing there, and look, I knew I wasn't crazy. I tried this on in the store and I liked it. And when I got home, it didn't look the same, and look at it. And I was showing her, and she goes, "You're right. They're totally different colors." She goes, are you sure it's the same name? And she looks at the back. They had the same name of the color.
Yeah.
And and she goes, "Yeah, you're right. It's different." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, I'm sure they can make an exception." So she goes to get somebody else. She was totally normal. Well, it turns out she doesn't work there. She's like some rep for one of the brands. So she brings over this
She
little,
doesn't know the protocol.
she doesn't know the protocol. So she brings over a little mini megalomaniac psychopath micromanager
To educate
to
you.
educate me. And she comes over, and I said, I said, look, I tried this one on in the store and look at what it looks like. And I go, look at the one that I bought in Tacoma. It doesn't look the same. She goes, well, it might be the lighting. And I go, well, but they're right next to each other
Arguing with you
under
about it.
under the same lighting, and they look diff. They clearly are not the same. And she's like, oh, she goes, well, I'm going to make an exception for you just this one time, but this is not our
Just so
policy.
you know.
Just so you know, this is not our policy, and I'll do it for you just this one time. And I said, well, that's great. I appreciate it. And so
You know what
then
that can be translated?
what?
That's Walker speak.
It's total Walker speak.
The translation is, well, I could tell you that you're screwed, which is the highlight of my day.
Which is what I prefer to do.
And I really like that. That's kind of like, I don't really have a lot of joy in my life, but telling you that you're screwed is one of my joys. And I'm going to forego that joy this last time.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope that this happens to you again.
And she's telling me, like, I'm going to be coming back every other day to be like asking for somebody to do this. It was weird. So anyway,
you're dipping into the bottom line of this mega corporation.
Then all of a sudden she gets like this little call on her headset.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I hear her and she goes, yeah, well, I'm just going to give her store credit. Like she was like, she had gotten a call from the one at the register and she was probably like, what are you doing? You're not going to like return that for her, are
It's
you?
a thing now.
It was a thing. And so then she was all pissy. She was
so
totally mad at me.
Well, we talked about this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the person who they go, I'm in 31 Flavors getting my daughter a shake and it's during the cooties. And I go, no, I'm not going to wear a mask. And he goes, sir, you got to go out.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, you're ushering in tyranny. I don't care.
No. Yeah,
that's
how this girl was. She was she was suddenly like mad at me. It didn't matter how nice I was to her. And she goes, I'll take you to the register. And she was super snotty. She walks me up to the register and I give her my thing that I was returning. And she's like, she gives me she's ringing up the thing. And I'm like, well, thanks, I appreciate it. And she's like, and she made no eye contact. She was like mad at me for doing this transaction. And
she was mad. No, you know what she was mad at is she wasn't able to ruin your day.
Yeah. And it was like I was taking like money out of her pocket. Like that's how she acted.
Yeah, no.
Bizarre.
You were taking emotional. She was emotionally blackmailing you. And she wasn't able to.
And you know what? You know what it was? I was taking like some of the 5 minutes of power that she normally likes to have. I was taking that away from her.
You know what this whole incident does? This confirms what we talked about at length in several of our episodes in season 1. In season 1, we talked about how Larry Fink, he is the CEO of BlackRock and he's the CEO of Earth. And he came out with a statement and he said, we're going to drive behavior with financial instruments. And then you heard Netanyahu and he comes out and he goes, what we can do is we can kind of make people's lives really miserable. And so they have like a plan. Yeah. And they're both in the Culture Club. Yeah. So, and we talked about how the plan rolls from how? The top down. The plan rolls from the top down. Yeah. So she is where the rubber meets the road. Exactly. Saphora lady who's mad that she didn't get to screw you over. She's where the rubber meets the road. And so
the megalomaniacs create the little mini megalomaniacs.
So ultimately you're mad at her because she's allowing herself to be used by Satan. Yeah. But you're mad at Satan because Satan turned her into him. Exactly. So she is Satan. It was almost like you like her badge just like changed from Stephanie to Satan. Yeah. She's like,
I'm like looking, I'm like, this is Satan. But you know what? It's like it all boils down to like a common theme that we always talk about too is like, where's the common sense? Like there was no common sense during the cooties. No. Nobody asked, like the walkers don't ask any questions.
This is Scientology. Yeah. We live in Scientology. Yeah.
So there's
she's a Scientologist and you're on next door just going, making a slight joke about the new Scientology building in the area. Yeah. And they're going, excuse me. No, you may not be on next door anymore. If your cat gets lost, you stay lost.
There's just no common sense. Like the girl I initially spoke with, she had some common sense. She was like, oh, you're right. It looks different. Yeah, let's make an exception.
She's not aware of the protocols.
The other ones were like, they can't look at the situation and take an individual situation and be like, oh, it's true. Like, we
You know
should
what
make
they
an
do?
exception
You know
for
what they do?
our rule this time.
They rationalize
Hmm.
because I have a friend who was a really good friend and I love her, but she got red pilled during cooties, but
Hmm.
she worked at the hospital. And I said, so I call hospitals Murder Inc.
Oh, yeah,
That's my nickname for hospitals. I call them Murder Inc.
that's
Because
appropriate.
yeah, because they say, come here, PCR test, jam this up your nose. You have PCR test. Oh no, you're
Now we're going to intubate you.
there you go. And you get taken into their Murder Inc.
Yeah.
And they have the same thing. They have protocols, just like Saphora.
Hmm.
And I told her, I said, you need to stop working at the hospital because that place is evil.
Yeah.
But they rationalize and they go,
They do.
well, I'm helping people and I'm
Yeah.
doing a lot of good stuff here. And
Yeah.
maybe, okay, but you're working for Satan.
Right.
Satan is sitting there like, I'm the CEO, and he's the CEO. Like if you're working for a hospital or a pharmaceutical company, you work for Satan.
Yeah.
And I say, resign from working for Satan. That's part of my message that I try to put forth.
Well, I think the other way you could look at it is, we do need people who want to help people get better. So if there's more people that know the truth of what's going on in those situations and speak up and and don't go along with it. Like I have a couple friends who are nurses and they totally didn't go along with the pokey pokes.
Yeah.
And I have one that's pretty outspoken and she kind of like blabs about it to patients at any chance she gets. And I'm surprised she hasn't been fired, but
Because you know what
I'm like, that's
we've
awesome.
talked about? You know what we've talked about? This is my theory about that. I have a conspiracy theory. I think now you're able to talk about cooties.
Hmm.
That's okay. What you're not allowed to do is have love, joy, and hope. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
Well, that's interesting because I think like these little mini megalomaniac micromanagers, psychopaths,
Yeah.
they don't want you to have love, joy, and hope.
She was mad that
That
you
girl,
got to retain your love, joy, and hope.
yeah, that girl was mad that I was able to exchange my blush and walk out happy. She was mad that she couldn't ruin my day and just be like, no, it's been
Yep.
more than 30 days.
And that's psychopath.
Yeah,
You're a little psychopath. She's probably cute and has nice makeup on, but she's a psychopath.
totally.
Kind of like, did you ever see Single White Female?
Yes.
Remember Single White Female?
Yes.
Jennifer Jason Leigh was
Yeah,
really cute.
I know.
And she was really like sexy and cute. And you're like, oh my God, she's adorable.
But she wants to kill you.
But she's a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after I did my Sephora transaction, I went and I was getting so that the place where they have like the I guess it's like teriyaki chicken or whatever, and the lady always hands you a piece on a toothpick.
Yes, yes, yes.
She wants you to try it.
You like dog meat? No.
It's really good. It's like kind of sticky and sweet and stuff.
It was probably not
So
It's good.
it's So anyway, my kid loves that stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's get some. So
I think
they're
what do they put?
they put MSG.
MSG, and who knows, that might have mind control and be addictive, but
Totally.
who knows?
So I'm like, it's kind of spicy. Are you sure you want that one? And she's like, we have this other one too. They were like two vats right next door to each other.
Oh, dude, the Asian
Like
people in the mall are
they have,
aggressive.
yeah.
How about the massage dude?
As
He's
soon
just like, you massage now. You now.
Yeah, as soon as I got off the escalator, she's like literally like probably 30 feet away, and she's like
You a sample beef?
holding out her toothpick with the chicken on it, like
You a
come over,
sample now.
come over here,
Yeah,
try
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
try it. But anyway,
Like that's their job. You know what they get told? They're probably like, you go back to a slave camp in China unless
I
you
know.
sell a lot of combo.
Totally. And you know what? You try it and you're like, it is pretty
It
good.
is. It is like we have drug inside.
There's a drug in there.
Yeah.
So she's got two flavors. She's got like the Hawaiian one's kind of spicy, and then she's got the
Hawaiian?
I know.
Trip out.
I know. And then the other one was I think it was mango chicken or something. So they're right next door right next to each other in neighboring vats, And
Troughs.
and I go, why don't we do half and half? And she goes, $1 extra.
You $1 extra
I'm
for
like,
half a half.
I'm like, $1 extra. I'm like, why? Because we mix it half and half. And I'm like,
You pay $1 service charge for a special.
I'm like, but it's the same price, right? And she's like, yeah, $1 extra. So it was going to cost $1 extra to get half of
That is special service.
Yeah. I'm like literally like taking the spoon and putting it in the
I
next
put
pan.
I put spoon in other bowl.
Yeah,
That cost $1.
that's more difficult.
Interesting. Interesting.
Like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Have you ever gotten a massage in the mall?
No.
So I got a massage in the mall, and it was I wanted, I actually was like, I insisted. I was like, no, 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 I want her to do it. The dude was like, oh, massage. I was like, no, I don't want an
I
Asian
don't want
man
some
who,
guy touching me.
no, no. The last thing I need is I paid to have no Asian man. But no, so there's the Asian lady comes and she starts giving me a massage, and then it was nice. It was like 5 minutes. And then I go, okay. And then she goes, 5 minute up, now 45 minute only. And then she gives me the price. But then she's like pushing me back. And no, 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 I rub it until you say yes. And I was like, no.
You will say yes.
Yeah, I'd like do a push up and be like, no, 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 I will not. And then she was almost like did like kung fu on me, like get me back on the bed. So they kind of high pressure you. You know,
Yeah,
the mall can Eeyore you.
it can.
You feel like there's a
Totally.
heaviness in the mall.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what it
and
is.
our mall is really kind of gross.
It's
Like get like half
gross.
the stores are closed. So this is something I've been
I went to
noticing.
California Pizza Kitchen and I
Mhm.
was just sitting there. First of all, nobody goes to that California Pizza Kitchen anymore.
No,
It's like I don't know what happened.
it's really bad.
So
It's
and
really
it's dude, it's a gym.
it's a total chip.
I went in there with me, my mom, and my daughter, and the bill was like $100.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
CPK is good, but it's
even
not that good.
even just getting a frozen yogurt, I think I paid like $10 for a frozen yogurt yesterday.
It's not worth
It's
it.
not worth it.
And then you walk around and you see culture and you see what
Yeah.
we've become,
Yeah.
and it's morbidly depressing.
It's
You
gross.
have to like not get blackpilled. I have to believe that these people can wake up from the stupor that they're in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too depressing.
Well, you know what? Another trait that I've noticed since we're studying anthropology
It
right
is
now.
anthropology.
So I've noticed like a lot of these malls are kind of like going downhill. Like half the stores are closed.
Yeah.
And I noticed this in South Carolina too. I drove out to this mall and it was like you could tell like that at one time it had been like this amazing place. There was this long road leading up to it, like a big long like whole road
Yeah.
going to this mall with a huge parking lot that was completely empty. I'm like, wow, that's really weird that this mall is so empty. They had a Target and it was sort of like, it almost kind of reminded me of like an octopus. Like it had four arms to this mall when I got in there. So like the end of each arm had one big store, like one anchor store, right? Like,
Macy's,
yeah, like a
JCPenney.
big department store. Well, two of them were shut. Like one of them had turned into a medical facility and over half the stores in the mall were
A
closed. Like
lot of America feels like
almost,
that. It feels like the Walking Dead dystopia, and
it felt
everything
like The
looks
Walking
run
Dead.
down
Yeah, it
and
felt like The
like
Walking Dead. Like
desolate.
almost all the stores were
You know
closed.
why?
But
You know what's putting them out?
what? Amazon. Yeah.
They don't want you to
But
go anywhere.
but
They want you to
listen
order
though, listen to
local.
this. This is something I've observed. People people are very fickle and they have short attention spans and they always want something new. So
Yeah,
I
that's true.
think like the mall idea is like passe and people don't want that anymore because I drove out to this other area um, because we were looking for some certain toys and
Yeah, the door marketplace.
yeah, and somebody
That's
said,
more in
you go
vogue.
out to this place and there's a huge mall. They're gonna have toys and stuff you're looking for. So we drove all the way out to this place and it was this huge outdoor mall where they had tons of stores. But I'm like, why would people in this area want something like this? Because it was like 95 degrees and it was like 90%
I
humidity.
think the mall
It
has
was
lost its luster.
it's lost its luster, but it makes so much more sense, like especially in a place that gets really hot. Like you would be so much more comfortable shopping
Dude,
indoor at a huge mall that's air conditioned. I didn't even want to be at this place. We went to one store and I was like, let's go. Like it was too hot. We were
you know what it
sweating.
could be? It could be that South Carolina people are doing kind of white pill behavior where they're saying, you know what, malls are a kind of big box because it's like all Old Navy, J.C. Penney,
Right.
it's all these big box. Where can I support my local
But you know what?
businesses?
This was all big box. It
Oh,
was all big box, but it was all outdoors. That was what was
it's
weird.
like here,
I
shop
thought,
here.
yeah, I thought I was going to a place that was going to have all kinds of like little
See,
individually
I
owned
always do that. I
stores.
always try to like get hopeful and think, dude, people
Yeah.
might be waking up. But then I go, no, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's other areas, like the smaller areas, like we talked about in our last episode, that, this once you get out of the cities and you go to the smaller towns, you find those individual businesses, which are so much better. Um,
You know what?
but
Everything seems to be deemed to the millennials.
yeah,
The millennials have all the money, and they're the ones that are following the trends. And I call millennials blue pill generation. Millennials, the whole generation's blue pilled, and they all just absorb media and obey media. And now
I think the
there's all
trend,
these new things popping out
yeah,
that's how they want to shop.
I think what this trend is like supporting the 15-minute city idea. And now it's like trendy to have like the shopping outdoors, which, that's nice. I like to be outdoors. And if you're in like an area where the weather's nice all
If you
year
live in a
round,
coffin apartment, you might
yeah,
want to have a couple of minutes of fresh air.
exactly. But if you're living in like some place that gets to be like 95 degrees and or really cold sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't seem like conducive to shopping. But I just noted I've been
That's weird.
noticing, yeah, it's like it made me think about how, how I say like people like the walkers have the attention span of gnats. And it's like they're
They
very
get turned into Dory.
they're fickle. They want something new all the time.
Well, that's because they're bottomless
Mhm.
pits and they're Dory. So that's how Dory is. They're kind of like that Steve
Right.
at the buffet, you know?
Yeah.
Steve, you go, Steve, dude, you're getting fondue at the midnight snack. I understand. You've already had three gargantuan meals. Now you're getting your fourth at the midnight snack. We just hit an iceberg, though, bro. We got to go get into the into the lifebooks. And he goes,
He's like, "Where's the
fondue.
roast beef?"
I'm fondue. I don't care. I just don't. I think people are there.
Yeah.
I think people. So we've talked about this. What you're talking about. If I was to boil it down and kind of look at it and say, why are people behaving like this, and what's kind of going on? The culture club, the culture club is saying no more like the way it used to be.
Yeah.
We're bringing this is the new reality. The
Yes.
new reality is like The Road. Remember that movie? Or it's like stark dystopia. Everything's run down and desolate.
Yeah.
And then the new reality for the walkers is you be Dory
Hmm.
and you learn to accept your squalor,
Right.
you know?
And it's what I mentioned to you earlier about Dory. I think
Yeah.
it's not only are they not they don't remember from 5 minutes ago, but they don't. It's a visual thing too. They don't even see what's in front of them.
No.
That's another Dory aspect
And
where
what causes people to get into this stupor we've talked about it. Maybe I bring it up too much, but I think MK Ultra pertains.
yeah, totally.
What is MK Ultra's predicated on? Trauma based mind control.
Hmm.
So it's all fear. So people are terrified.
Right.
And when they're terrified, they're just going to turn to the media and say, just show me how to live.
Tell me what to do and show
Show
me
me
it.
where to go.
Yeah.
What.
And that's why they follow what they see.
Tell me what's good.
Yeah.
And then I think out
They
of
don't
fear,
form any opinions on their own.
no, because it kind of takes courage.
Yeah.
It takes courage to say, I don't agree with the media. Because the media is so omnipresent and everywhere and everybody's worshiping it that to step out of it takes courage. Because you have to say, no, I don't need that. I don't need that.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people are like, no, 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 no. Like if you get them sodium pentothal and you say, are you terrified right now? They're like, yes, I'm terrified. And so they go, good, good, good. We've got you terrified. Every time they go on InfoWars or they go on CNN, see, you can't get news that's not terrifying right now. You go on Fox News. What's
It's always breaking news all
the
the time.
you know what it is? And it's been like this for like the last 20 years, since 9/11, pretty much. Crisis.
Yeah,
We're in a crisis
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
You need to be afraid. And that's what I think is so now people are basically like living frantic, terrified lives. And I think we got to get people out of that. And you have to convince people that the reason that you're scared is because of your media consumption. Whatever you're
It's
consuming,
telling you to be scared.
it's feeding your worldview, and that worldview is making you afraid. And then that they know when they have you afraid, and you're like, "Oh my God, nuclear war and illegal immigrants."
Mm.
And then they
In
go,
Earth mod.
"An Earth mod." And then you'll see you going, this is our World War II. We've got like 2 years left. So, yeah. So now you're terrified. And then that's when they go, by the way, you're a little overweight and you should probably get Ozempic. And then they just go, okay, yeah, you're right. And that's another thing too, is like fitting in becomes really important. And the
Yeah.
mall is total fit in behavior.
Yeah.
I've never liked the mall. Even back in the 90s, I didn't like the mall because the mall is fit in people.
Yeah.
They have places in there like Pacific Sunwear. And it's like, hi, come on in. It's like, are you a surfer? Look at your body, like perfect. And, here's the shorts that you should wear. And everything is like,
There's like 20 of everything.
it's trendy.
Yeah.
It's so trendy and it's so just like the well-worn path. That's what I feel like the mall is.
Mhm.
I always like to get cool stuff, I
Yeah.
always like to wear stuff that's kind of like maybe unique.
I like to shop at like little boutiques and shops that are individually owned. I think
Yeah,
it's so much cooler. I
that's
wish
it.
I wish there was a Sephora that was like that, like an individually owned, so I wouldn't have to go
You know
back
what?
to those
You're
micromanagers.
right. Yeah, totally.
You know what I
You
mean?
know what? That's good. And that's what you have to do. As a
Mhm.
matter of fact, you were kind of kicking yourself for going to Sephora.
I
You were like, why am I going to Sephora?
And you know what? I know there is like a cool little place like that in South Carolina that has neat things like that that's individually owned. I didn't get there this time I went.
My remember I told you like I'm stoked because my daughter's 18 and I can tell she's a leader.
Yeah,
She's not a follower.
that's awesome.
And one of her leader behaviors is, and she does this on her own accord. She goes, I don't want to go to the mall. I need to go clothes shopping. I don't want to go to the mall.
Good.
Can you take me thrifting?
Oh,
That's what she
that's what
likes
she
to do.
likes to do that.
She
Mhm.
loves thrifting.
She should come and look through my closet.
I'll tell
She
her. She'll
she
be
would
stoked.
find a lot of stuff.
Because you know why? You get unique stuff. And like when I go pick my daughter up from school, she's dressed unique.
Hmm.
A lot of the other kids kind of have that, like it becomes kind of like a very generic look.
Yeah, it's funny. I was driving by the high school the other day and I saw like 10 girls walk by and they literally all had the same exact outfit on. Now it's like the big baggy jeans and the little short tops.
That's it.
Kind of like when we were kids.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
It totally is.
Yeah.
It's like the girl with like what was that Uma Thurman movie where she had the big thumb? That's like her look. But it's totally coming back. They're
Yeah,
retro. This generation's very
it
retro.
is.
They love us
Yeah,
from back then.
they do.
But
That's kind of a 1960s look too,
even more so,
you
like
know?
bell bottoms
Yeah,
almost and like little cutoff tops.
yeah.
Um, what's the white pill from today's episode? Because today's episode was interesting. Like just to recap, like you kind of saw a lot of walkers,
I just like had to talk about it
and then we
because
also had to talk
my,
about the liberal virus and
yeah,
how that's contradictory, and it kind of pertains to this degeneracy that has kind of settled upon our
exactly.
culture.
And I think what we talked about earlier is, which actually this is kind of a main point of this episode, is that we're starting to wonder if the walkers have been activated or if they're being activated because they seem to be getting angrier. And
Mm.
like my mom was telling me she was at the doctor's office the other day and she said the walkers that like work behind the desk, she said they're just like cold and rude and like they just seem angry and not very friendly.
When I hear that,
It's
when I
interesting.
hear that kind of stuff, when I hear people, because when someone makes an assertion like that, it's because they've seen several instances of it.
Hmm.
So that's like science.
Yeah,
That's not like science, like, hey, excuse me,
that's
global warming.
anthropology.
That's anthropology.
Studying
You're
the
observing
creatures.
and you have data. And it's like, wow, I've noticed that people are angry.
Yeah.
What I think is people are um, very controlled by the media
Hmm.
and they maybe are being activated. It might be mind control.
I'm starting to
I
wonder.
think walkers are under mind
I'm
control,
starting to
and
wonder.
so they are being activated,
Yeah,
and they can be actually like, I'm gonna go key a Tesla.
yeah. I
I'm gonna
mean,
go throw a Molotov cocktail on the
and
Harbor
like
Freeway.
be so angry at a customer for like exchanging something that's gotten, I mean, it's not affecting them in any way at all.
No, no, no,
You
no.
know what I
That
mean?
had nothing to do with Sephora's bottom line. You
Yeah.
know what? That was a personal thing.
Yeah.
I remember have you ever read the book for The Godfather?
No.
It's really good. It's
Really?
really good.
Oh, interesting.
But there was an interesting part in The Godfather where when Vito Corleone comes over from Italy for the first time, he's talking with the guy, and the guy says, "Well, it's not personal, it's just business." And he goes, "Let me tell you something. It's always personal.
Hmm.
It's always personal.
Hmm.
When someone's doing that to you, it's because she doesn't like you." And she's been, see, I think not that we have a color because you're a butterfly and I'm a firefly,
Hmm.
but I think that being white kind of pisses people off. There's a media
Mm,
narrative out there
that's interesting.
that's like, oh, I'm white. Ugh, hate them.
Interesting.
I hate to say it because
It is interesting
I've had a
because
couple of like Latinas like be like unnecessarily grumpy.
these girls did happen to be that.
They're
It's
Latinos and
interesting.
they're like, it's kind of like F white people in their narrative.
Hmm.
I'm kind of seeing that. That might be being because remember we talked about Cloward and Piven.
So you
And
think that might be part of it?
yeah, because like if you take Latinas, they're very media people.
Oh yeah.
Like
They want to
my
be like Kim Kardashian.
remember I told you about my girlfriend in high school or in college, and she was a Latina.
Which one?
That no, you stop that. No. She goes like this. She goes, I'm super sweet and loving in private. But when we get out in public, I'm managing my social credit score
Oh,
and I'm
right.
a completely different person. A lot of Latinas are like that. They have this weird um it's insistence to be in the in crowd. And the in crowd might be saying F white people now.
It could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
Because you seem like you got kind of personally, like maybe discriminated against a little bit
For no reason.
for no
Yeah.
reason. And so there's that. And I think that the media is driving that. Remember, Cloud and Piven is real. And that's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And that's constantly
They're
going on.
constantly pushing this on people. It's like they want us, they want the whites to hate the blacks, they want and vice versa. And what you're saying, I mean, and I don't think this would naturally be happening if they weren't pushing that narrative.
So,
I don't think
so
it would
what's
be.
white pill? What's white pill? White pill is um, people can snap out of it, just like Neo when he red pills and they pull all of the intravenous plugs out of him,
Hmm.
then he gets red pilled. I think people can do that,
Right.
but they have to. What happened with you and me when we got red pilled? You get to the point where the media worldview is unacceptable to
Hmm.
you. You have to get there.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a drug addict. You ever met a drug addict? Yeah, you have, because you've met me. So, anyways, what you know about a drug addict is you can't just go up to a drug addict and say, dude, you have to quit. You have to
Hmm.
quit. A drug addict is, if they quit, some of them, a lot of them, they just go die. They just go, no, I do drugs till I die.
Oh man.
And then I die from drugs. And that's my life. And they accept that and they go do that, which sucks,
Yeah.
but whatever. But there are people who, like Mike Lindell, go, I'm going to stop doing crack.
Yeah.
And he
Or
did.
Hunter Biden.
Hunter
Do you
Biden.
think he really stopped?
That could
Or
have been
he
a
just got
narrative.
his teeth fixed?
No, that's yeah, he got too thanks. Hunter is too much of a bottomless pit.
Yeah, he's a total
He
bottomless pit.
cannot stop.
No.
He probably is still having sex with like 12-year-old like Filipino chicks. So, anyways, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is Mike Lindell, I do believe he was a
Yeah.
crackhead and stopped.
Yeah.
What caused Mike Lindell to stop was not like his wife nagging him. It probably was he finally got to the point where he said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Right.
And then he changed. We have to hope that people get to that point
Yeah,
because it is getting kind of bad.
it is. I think some of the people are just, they're dories and they're probably just going to keep swimming and they're never going to
We
snap
talked
out of
about
it.
that. They're going to the cliff and you go, no, 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 no. And they just go,
Yeah,
and you go,
I know. I think some of them we can't help, but I think there are some people that probably could wake up
you know what I
and
think is going to happen?
maybe they hear shows like this and
That's what I was going
yeah,
to say. The hero shows. See,
because we keep talking.
we're going to be an example and
Yeah.
people are going to start there's going to be people who join our movement and
Yes.
that's what we are. We're a movement and there's going to be people who join that movement and the future belongs to them. There's going to be a lot of people who there's not going to make it into the future.
No.
Remember Madonna, she was talking about that. That was remember she came out with that weird thing right before cooties
Which one? She's come out with a lot of weird things.
Madonna. So Madge,
She's so bizarre.
she had like a X over her eye.
Oh, yeah.
And she had this full on like performance in 2019 that was totally like the Culture Club talking about cooties.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that she said is, a lot of people aren't going to make it through this.
Ah,
That was her message.
like she had a premonition.
She didn't have a
Yeah.
premonition. She doesn't have,
She doesn't,
she
but
got
she put
told.
out the message.
That was her messaging.
That's crazy.
And that was right before cooties. And a lot of people didn't make it through cooties.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's
now
so weird.
I'm saying there's a new revolution coming, and some people aren't going to make it
I know.
because they're too attached and too afraid, and they're too Howard Stern, and they can't
Right.
leave. They have to stay home.
Yeah. That's so perfect.
Is there anything else you want to talk about all that?
I mean, I'm probably going to think of other things
That was such a,
I
think about
think,
something else. What else?
well, I think we
That was
kind of
such a great
I think we
episode.
covered it all. I
Well,
mean,
you know what's
just going
cool?
to our ghetto mall.
That's all it takes.
I mean, just seriously, just walking through there, I was overloaded with things to talk about.
Well, last point that I'll make, that I was thinking about this. We've gone on a journey of discovery.
Right.
So we started this podcast, probably it's been about 6 months now,
Yeah.
maybe 5 months, not that long.
Not that long.
But just having like today's conversation was not scripted.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you didn't even want to tell me what happened until we just pushed record.
Right.
So everything was spontaneous. And what happens in that is we have epiphanies.
We do.
And we have revelations.
Mhm.
And so when that happens, scales fall from your eyes, and now you perceive normal things differently.
Yeah.
So maybe you went to the mall 6 months ago. You might not have had all the takeaways that you had this time.
Exactly. And well, there might not have been as many walkers 6 months ago. I think they're
Oh my
multiplying.
God. And then
But yeah.
you know what you were also saying, which I think is probably true, is what if the walkers kind of get triggered by people like us because we have love, joy, and hope,
I know.
and they're just going, "Arr."
I think the walkers have an aversion to people like
They
us.
get
They get
mad
really mad.
because they don't have that.
But you know what? So what our point that you were starting to make is that I think when we talk about these things, we have revelations and epiphanies, and hopefully like our listeners are experiencing those as we do. But we want other people to be talking about these things, because when you
Yes.
talk about stuff,
Yeah.
you end up going on a journey too, and you
And
have
talk with us, audience.
yeah,
Please comment.
you might have epiphanies
I
when you're
don't.
listening. We would love to hear them.
I'm wondering,
Right?
is Arnold or the Indian dudes like negating? We get no comments. The only comments we
I
get
know.
is, excuse me, I like your content, but we can really get you better reach if you give me some money. That's the only comments I get. Audience, if you're listening, please comment. Even if you just say, you know what, that sucked. I want to hear that.
I have a tattoo and now I
Oh, I have a tattoo.
don't like you anymore.
Please tell me that.
We still like you.
I don't understand. I think our comments are getting deleted.
I think so too.
No one makes a comment.
It's kind of weird.
Nah,
It doesn't really make sense.
yeah, but please comment. But okay, and if our comments are not going to reach us, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah,
Because
that's our point.
when you talk amongst yourselves,
You
you're
have
going to have
epiphanies.
revelations and epiphanies.
You have epiphanies. And then like the people you're talking to end up having an epiphany because you end up like red pilling them.
And this feels
Right?
so good. Our conversations feel so good,
I
right?
know. It's so
Why?
therapeutic.
Because we don't
It's
get to
cathartic.
talk. It's cathartic. We don't get to talk with everybody like this.
No.
We get together with like-minded people.
There's too many. I mean, can you imagine just like talking to the girl at Saphora like this?
Oh my God.
She would have probably called the cops.
Several times she would have gotten really mad.
Really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
You bump up against their bubble.
Yeah.
And you kind of burst their bubble. Because that's what we do.
We do.
We burst
We're
bubbles.
bubble bursters.
We're bubble bursters. So please talk and please comment. And I can't wait to
Tell a friend.
I can't wait to do another episode.
I know, me too.
I'm so stoked. We're in season 2 and we're rocking and rolling.
I know. We're rocking in the free world.
We're rocking in the free world and we're not taking our content off of Spotify. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.